Hello everybody, good afternoon. Welcome back to the stream. It is I, DigiDriver. Welcome to your Sunday, January 1st, 2023. Happy New Year. We are in the new year indeed. And I am back at Plymouth Municipal Airport in Plymouth, Massachusetts. I'm going to try to do a little bit of scenery dev today, but I'll tell you right from the top, it's probably going to be a very, very chill stream today. I'm planning on streaming for about an hour today, maybe an hour and a half, but probably not much more than that. Also, there may be a chance that I cut out early, just in case we've got some unexpected family time that we're going to take. But I did want to say hello to you all and to share with you some of the stuff that I've got planned for this coming year. Planned and things that I'm working on as well. But as you guys know, I have been at APYM for about the past couple months, and I'm actually taking a look at the stuff that's been done. And I know as a scenery developer, I tend to downplay or just ignore a lot of the progress that I've made. But in terms of this airport versus its default appearance, we've done quite a few things. I haven't fixed the satellite imagery, but I have redone the runways, and I'll show you some of the stuff that we've done by taking out some of the editing, editing views, so to speak. This was a runway with just basically like one texture, one material. We turned it into a transparent runway, not really a transparent runway, but what am I trying to say? A runway that has multiple textures on top, and this represents the way that things look IRL. The materials may not be a one-to-one match, but the design is close to reality. I've done a lot of the taxiway markings, but you're also taking a look at some of the satellite imagery as well, since I haven't put materials down for the taxi surfaces or the parking areas. But we do have start positions. I still need to work on these buildings, and I still need to work on finishing the back area for runway 33. But we have expanded this taxiway. This taxiway in the sim actually just stopped here and went to the runway right here. But in real life, my friend Eric Flight told me the taxiway actually goes out further. So we did that. We pushed it out here, and now it's set. So this is the east-west runway, which I think has the most traffic. And of course, we have start positions here, and we have a start position here, and one here. That's what I've done so far. I still have to do a bunch of stuff. I still have to make these custom hangar buildings. I still have to put fence all the way around this place, or at least around most of it. I need to create the custom terminal, and I need to finish these custom buildings. But we're not bad. We're not bad. We've got, what would you say? Maybe like 40% of the work done here? 50% maybe? We're not going to touch these buildings immediately because these are outside the airport property. But I need to come up with a basic design for the rest of the hangar buildings. And I might come up with something basic and just put it on and maybe make different things based on what I can find out about these buildings. But I am going to take a faster approach to finishing this airport because I don't want to keep working on this well into February. I do kind of want to lose the weight and jump into completing everything that's necessary in order to get this built. Now, I will let you know up front, there is a good chance that this airport is not going to have very custom helipad positions. I will make the helipad positions start positions if I haven't already done so, but in terms of what's available, I'm probably not going to turn them into extremely custom positions just so I can get this project done. Because like I said before, I don't want to create this airport, get 95% of the way there, update my SDK, and then realize, oh, I can't finish this airport at all now, and then have to start all the way from scratch. It wouldn't be all the way from scratch because I'd have most of these custom assets, ready to place. But in a case like that, I don't want to be in a position where it's like, oh, I have to place everything back the way it was now. It can be done, but naturally it's going to take some time, and that's time that I'd prefer just having it on market and available for download. But that's the way it is. We have spent a little bit of time figuring out some basic prototypes for hanger placements, and I'll make some different flavors that will have different hangers open and closed, so that this won't look like they're all open all the time. And then these two buildings in particular, I think this is going to be where the state of Massachusetts, or like the state police for Massachusetts, is going to be here, the helipad hangars. Obviously, I don't have good shots of the interior, so whatever it is that we have is going to be whatever exists. Like, how can I say this? I'm going to take a best guess, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to nail it. This is something else. I forgot what this is. This could be a school. This could be, I don't know, logistics or supplies for the airport. But I'll take a look at that this week. One thing said, what I intend to do, I intend to continue working on this. Hopefully by middle to the end of January, it'll be ready and it'll be released. I think on Sim Market or maybe a different platform. I don't know yet. I think I'd like to create my own website as well and create a uh, basically a shopping front end so that you can buy scenery and download it and install it. But Sim Market, of course, makes the process extremely simple for me, and that's probably what I'm going to do going forward. So let's do this. Let me go ahead and re-enable editing, and we're going to go ahead and continue working on this building and see what we can do. Okay, just double checking myself. I thought you guys didn't see anything, but there we are. This is what I've been working on today. We're going to add some windows and some doors, and then once that's done, we'll be able to have a better looking interior and maybe work on some furniture today. Probably not, but let me go ahead and get started. There we go. Everything should be good. Let's go ahead and switch over to Blender, and we will continue. All right, so I'm looking at the front of the entrance, or the entrance to the building, which is on the other side of the ramp. So the ramp and the taxiway and the runway would be here, and then the east-west runway would be, I'm sorry, the north-south runway would be here, east-west runway would be here. So this is just the building. I think I'm going to have to start by breaking up these other walls so I can stick stick windows in them. Let's get close and get started. Oh, and if you folks hear some noise behind me, that's just me doing laundry. Just wanted to get some stuff ready for the week. If you're going back to work on Monday, then you get yourself ready, and then you can chill later. Okay, so a little strange, but let me take a look at this. I think I know what's up. The loop cut can either do the front or the back. I'm going to do the front, but I'm going to do it in two pieces. So let me back up and take a picture or look at a picture of what that looks like. Amir Amazia 320 official, hello, welcome to the stream, or welcome back, excuse me, I apologize. The first day has just been moving pretty quick. I got up this morning, went to church, praised the Lord, and then I got back and I got watching some stuff, ate, I put some laundry down, so I'm coming into the afternoon and hoping to have a nice afternoon, nice evening, either at home or spending time with family. And then I have a week to get started on, and I don't want to mishandle things. So I want to be deliberate, which is what we're doing today. I'm hunting for a picture of the Alpha 1 flight school, which I have saved as a bookmark because I want to see what the front of the building looks like, and I just got it. So the windows are just a bit higher, than halfway. Thank you, friend. Thank you very much. I am, like I said, trying to make as much progress as I can in this over the next few days and weeks. Where I want to get this released, so I can't like I don't know what am I going to say. I can't spend too much time thinking I have to go ahead and go for it. So let me do that. So we're going to break this up into pieces. Well, I'm trying to figure out ways to make this a bit more consistent. So today's a bit of a weird day because today's like me going over this in my head, also sharing it with everybody in chat. I'm probably going to transition to a process where I'm going to talk for a while, open up the stream, and then do like 20 minutes, 30, 45 minutes of just straight dev, and then come back, talk to chat, catch up, do it again, and then talk to chat again and see how far we've come. Snare17, hello, my friend. Welcome. I hope that you're doing very, very well. Folks, if you don't already know, Snare17 is somebody that's actually working on a scenery for MSFS. That's Greensboro in North Carolina. And I spent some time with Snare this past year, kind of seeing his progress and also chatting with him direct. And there could be more stuff coming down the line for Snare, but just in case there isn't at the moment, that's fine too. Life happens. So glad to have friends in chat today and hope that you are doing very, very well today. God bless you as well, my friend. So let me think. Today we're going to use Blender to build those windows at least. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the loop cut. And hold on. I want to make sure I'm not loop cutting the back, although eventually I do want to. Yeah, there we go. So this is the front, that's the back. Split it in two, and then I'm going to eyeball this and see how it works. So we lifted it up a little bit higher than normal, and let me see how this looks in comparison. So I'm going to take a look at my picture and see what's up. And I'll show you all the picture too. Where's my browser? It is right there. So that's not bad. That is not bad. Maybe a touch lower, but I think we're actually doing pretty good. So I'm going to undo that. Try it again. Oh, did I? Oh, yeah, I did it on the backside. Let's try it again. All right, so there we go. Break it up into two. And I think right about, I guess about there. Yeah, it's not that far removed from the middle, but it's not that far from the top either. So I'm going to eyeball this for the other segment. Fortunately, the placement of those line segments is kind of snappy in the sense that it's almost like a snap to grid thing. So I don't feel that bad if they're off slightly. Stuff is off slightly in real life too, not by much, but you get my point. And I can always create the line segments and chop stuff off so that you can actually build the actual 3D window inside of it. I might do that actually. It's going to be harder. Ooh, excuse me, I did that wrong. It's going to be harder to place them, so I'm going to have to know where these actual segments go. But give me a bit. We'll just create those two segments, place them as best as we think, and then move on. So here we are. All right. Now, to test this theory and to see how good this works, I'm going to go ahead and remove those polygons and see how far off we are. Not something that I intend to do without some thought, but give me a moment here. Okay. So there we go. Move the faces, and there we go. So that's the chop that I did, but if you can see, there is a difference between the size of this segment inside versus the side of the other segment. Fortunately, it's easy to slide them up and down. So let me see if I can copy the z-axis value and make them the same. And there we are. But, excuse me, where are my manners? Let's put a little bit of music. I know people are celebrating the new year, but I want to make it a little bit cheery for myself for just a little while, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this as well. Let me put up the music link in chat in case you're curious. I've been listening to this particular piece for the past I think couple of weeks actually. So I'll start playing it as soon as I put the link up. And there we go. Okay, hopefully that's not too loud. I think that's good for me. Hopefully it's good for you guys as well. So again, folks, thanks for stopping in today. I really appreciate having you aboard as I do some scenery dev in Blender and for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I am working on Plymouth Municipal Airport, which is a general aviation airport, maybe about 30-40 minutes away from Boston, Mass. And I am in the process of creating something called the Alpha 1 Flight School. And I want to do a good job here for my friend Eric Flight, who is a friend of the stream and who's probably just taking a nice chill pill today. I am in the process of making, I guess, polygon segments that work, but at least we have the window opening placed. How does this look actually? Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. I don't want to forget this. I'm going to go ahead and save my progress under a different revision number. I have roughly 7 revisions right now, and I'm going to make this about my 7th or 8th revision so that I can actually save different chunks of progress depending on how far I've gotten. And just in case something goes really bad, which it actually did about a week and a half ago, I had to actually start from a lower branch number because I lost some progress because my PC shut off by accident because we lost power. So let me split this. I don't know how I feel about this process, so I may literally have to start from scratch, but I mean, what can you do? All right, let's grab that line, that wall piece, get rid of it, and we'll do the same thing with the front. Okay, now I'm going to use these values for the front because I want them to match the Z values. We'll copy that. And there are probably much easier ways to do all this, but again, pardoning the allowances, I'm basically just learning Blender as I'm going. I only started doing this as a hobby over the summer last year, and I only started doing this as a potential business in the fall of last year. So I've got a lot to learn. Downwind Sim, hello, good to see you. And Dr. 737, hello. My good friend. Really appreciate having you all on stream. Folks, it's about that time. I'm going to go ahead and put some shout outs in stream so that you guys can pay a visit to some of the folks that are a part of the Flight Sim streaming community. First off, I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Downwind Sim, doing some interesting things in terms of Flight Sim and GA flying. Dr. 737 is one of the dear friends in chat and doing some amazing things with Flight Sim, and I don't know, pushing the channel forward, growing the channel. Definitely give him a follow. And I'm gonna put Snare17's Twitch page here, but Snare17 does have a presence on YouTube. So Snare17, if you're still here, feel free to throw up your YouTube link as well, so you can actually promote your stuff as well, just in case you're going to get started on that pretty soon. And if I'm not mistaken, you did finish building a PC a little while ago. Downsim, you are most welcome. But by all means, folks, feel free to give them some patronage. We're looking to do things. We're looking to do sim things, and I'm looking to do airport things. So, in terms of what we're doing today, I think we're building some windows or some window enclosures. So, you guys can see what I'm doing. Good. Oh, I keep right clicking when I'm in movement mode, and it just goes back to the last screen I had. So honestly, I think I'm starting to like these enclosures more. I'm gonna go with this theory and see how it works. Let's pick this wall, split it in two, and get rid of the pieces, and we will connect them together. Oof, this was way off. And now we're going to slot in here, pick the line segments, and we're going to connect them. Right. Same idea on this side. Take the Z value and apply it to this wall. Why is Digi doing that? Digi is doing that because Digi is going to bridge the gap between these faces. Also, you notice that there's a lot of faces that aren't being drawn. I'm hoping by doing that, we reduce the amount of VRAM we use, and the less VRAM we use, probably the higher the frame rate is at the airport. So, do I feel content enough to use this? Also, did I do this right? Let me think. If I take a look at the IRL picture again of the front of the building, you're going to see, you have these I guess, enclosures. Oh, you can't zoom in? That sucks. Huh. A little weird. Oh, there we go. That's better. So the windows themselves are smaller, the window casings, and then the window frame is that big piece that you see there. So how am I going to do this? I want all those things to basically be one piece. So I think I know what I'm going to do. This is just experimenting at this point, but I mean, I got to learn somehow, right? So let's start over here and use this as a kind of test bed. So in Blender, I can join two segments together by left clicking and holding down the Shift key and pressing F. So, oh, that's why it looked a different color. I have the weather exclusion on. I'll get rid of it for now. And this is probably going to be a good example of having to overwrite this edge because I want this to be blank. So, okay, I'm going to try this right now. I'm going to see if I can add a material to it. If I can. Surface, charter terminal wall. Oh, here we are. So I add another material, and then we're going to call this charter terminal window frame. And I think what I can do is, did I overwrite the color? I don't think so. At least I don't think so, no. Let me try this. I'm focused on this segment. Let's see if I can... How does this work? I forgot how I did this. I can't get rid of the material because they'll get rid of the material in the entire all the other places I've used it. But I think I should be able to select this and select window frame and use it. At least I think. Can we get rid of the material by right-clicking? We can't. Copy material, remove unused slots. Oh, copy material to selected. Let's see. Unset? No, that's not it. Reset the default value? That's not it. How was it that I was doing it before? Ah, okay. All right. Let's see if we can get rid of it. So it doesn't have a remove. Copy material? No, copy material to selected. Let me deselect it. Okay, so it's not making it brighter, and this is a bright base color. So I wonder. Hello, Wombi. Welcome aboard, my friend. Good to see you. Feel free to lurk away. I am trying to get some window frames made for the building that I've been working on. But definitely feel free. You're more than welcome to do so. Folks, if you haven't already done so, feel free to pay some patronage to my friend Wombi. Wombi is another person that's done scenery dev and is working on some stuff. I don't know if you're active at the moment, but at the same time, by all means, feel free to check out Wombi's channel, and I'll put a link up on here in chat just in case you got anything planned for the near future. But there we go. All right, now let me give this one more try. Actually, you want to know what? Before I do that, let me build the other walls as well. So I'll take these edges and bridge them if I can. Hello. Oh, interesting. I don't have edges? Oh, I know. Stand by, chat. Let's pick the vertices first. And we're going to bridge them. How is it that you bridge them? Is it connect vertex paths? Oh, you know what? New edge. There we go. Now I have an edge. It's hard to see, but there's a little orange line right there. Welcome back. So I'll do the same thing with the other side because there is no kind of like frame here. So I'll pick these vertices, join them together, press F, Now that I have them connected, I can also do this. Now we have line segments. Actually, I probably didn't need to do that. Let me take a look. Did I need to? I probably didn't. Let me select these edges again and press F, and there we go. So now we have the edges. Now the interesting thing is it brighter? Wait, it's actually brighter. Is this complaining because the sun's not hitting it in this example? That might be. I'm not going to worry about the texturing right now. We're just going to get the base materials built, and I'll leave it to myself to learn the process in the coming week. But there we go. We've got that in position, and I think because we've got these two things in place, I won't have to spend too much time. I can grab the vertices and do what I did before. F to create a new segment. And there's that other segment. And now with those two segments created, I can do 1, 2, bam. There we go. So now we've got a window frame. Womby, your secret's safe with me. All right, chat. Can we keep a secret? I will. I'll also make it plain that I barely know what I'm doing. I'm learning as I go. Okay, so why didn't I just punch through this wall with a different block to build something in here? I didn't do that for a couple of reasons. One, I've tried creating like extra cubes and punching them through walls, and then using the modifier of like, what was it, delete? I think there's a delete modifier somewhere, or obscure. I forget what it was. It wasn't decimate. It it was either delete or something, and I probably have to take a look at an object to do it. But the problem was when I added objects and pushed them through walls and used them to delete the space and create a window cell, it would chop the wall into weird triangular pieces. And I'd like to avoid doing that in future if I can. At least that's how I feel about it right now. Maybe I'm wrong. Yes, that's a very good point. It gets easier after you discover ways that it's not going to work, and then you find the way that it will work. So I'm looking forward to failing for the purpose of figuring out how to get stuff done. So this is kind of like, you know, Window 2.0. And what can I do? Oh, right, of course. Build these segments first. And then do this. And then grab these. Okay, so I should be able to tile these together without having to create or connect more segments by using edges. Edge number 1, edge number 2, edge number 3, and then edge number 4. All right. So these segments I can replace potentially with whatever I want. I just forgot how to do it. So I'm going to have to relearn that this week. For the sake of this stream, I'm going to keep things simple. And then connect the segments, like I usually like to do. friends are here. It's good to see. The pets are in the room. There we go. I've got the segments in place. I should be able to join them all. This shouldn't take more than a few moments. Oh, excuse me. Like that. Then that way. Then that way. And here. At least I think so. There we go. Okay. Everything's connected. And now we have three functional windowsills, if you will. So, I can probably extrude them so that they all come down a certain distance. What I probably failed to do before was that I failed to inset them appropriately. So I think I can fix this with a little bit of creative polygon work, but if you guys don't mind, I think I'm going to reload and I'm going to start over. But I'm going to save this first, and I'm going to go back to the earlier version, and then we'll see if I can't actually extrude the faces better, I guess is the phrase. Get rid of one side, push stuff through the other, and then create the windows again. So stand by. There we go. That's where I was before. An edge between two vertices across an existing face. Yes, I was debating whether or not to use J or F, but I think what I want to try doing first is chopping these windows up again and then insetting the face. So I can extrude the window frame and then get rid of the edges. But wait, did I get ahead of myself? Couldn't I just have done it with the same place I was at before? Let me try something. I'll get this figured out probably in like a few seconds. All right. So these are the windows again, and we're gonna try something really fast. Oh, did it the wrong way. Hold on. All right, two faces to about there, and let me go ahead and inset this. Also, can I change that and pick a different material? Whoops. Oh, that sucks. Okay, I got that back. Phew. All right, try it again. Oh, I did it again right before I actually expanded them. Camp Route, hello. Good to see you, friend. Welcome aboard. How have you been? How's your new year going so far? I hope you're very well. I do hope you're very well. Thank you for saying hello, and I hope that 2023 shapes up to be an amazing year for you and yours. We are doing some scenery development, and I am messing around with Blender, trying to get the kind of face to appear that I want for this. I tried to change the material and I wound up losing some progress, so let me just be careful. I'll choose the face. I will position myself more appropriately, and I will inset the edges. I wonder. How inset is that windowsill? Let me see. Actually, that's not that bad. That's not that bad. Let me try it again. Okay, so we've got an inset face, and then we can probably inset this again, but I'm not going to worry about it just yet. We'll separate this face from the other faces for the windowsill, and now we have a windowsill we can expand. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and um, lower the tops of the windowsills down a bit more. This needs to be a bit thicker, in my opinion, like that, so to speak. Let me think. How far down? So, like 100th? Let's try. Actually, more than that. More than that. Let's try 500, so 0.46. Okay, that's too much. So minus 0.25. So what would that be? Like 4.8 and change. 4.88. Okay, that's actually pretty good. We'll apply that opposite to the other side. So 2.5 would be 2.8 on the side. Oh, excuse me, wrong way. Okay, so wait. Okay, so this will make it positive then. Actually, no. 2.5 would be 0.06 or point. Yeah, that's right. 0.06. Yep, there we go. Got it. Two-faced disc. Hello, my friend. It is very good to see you in chat. A privilege having you here. Folks, by all means, if you have not done so yet, I really would recommend you go visit my friend Two-Faced Disc on Twitch. Two-Faced recently had some technical difficulties with the stream setup and had to take an impromptu break from streaming. But believe me when I say this, I have been anticipating seeing Two-Faced's streams return. I've watched him do Flight Simulation. I've watched him do DCS. I've watched him do other stream games as well. And I enjoy spending time hanging out, catching up, and just being a part of that community. So feel free. Only have to wait a few more days. Oh, my friend, I'm so looking forward to seeing you on Twitch and seeing you stream. You know, I do work remotely, so that there's a good chance that I might not stick around for the entire stream, of course, but I do want to say hello once I see you back. So, by all means, folks, feel free to say hi. So, we now have the window frame, and I wish it was easier for me to just reset all these to a standard, but I think I know what I'm going to do. This is all part of the window right now, or the wall, and now I have this. I wish there was an easy way for me to be able to inset these faces, but I know what I'm going to do. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I want to. I think I'm going to extrude this negatively and see what happens. Okay, so it goes in, and now we have the window frame, and then the rest of it's going to be the rest of the window. So work with me a bit here. Dream with me, if you would. Now, let's extrude this again. Doesn't have to be that far, but now you see where the window frame kind of fits in here. Although, if I'm not going to push the window frame or bend it or do things with the actual edges, it might not show up as easily. Like I would have to go out of my way to make sure these walls, these edges were like, you know, painted or something. But I did this on purpose for a reason. Let's see if I can figure out why. All right, two edges up a little bit, And I'm going to be more careful this time. And we're going to take the edges and just copy these coordinates and move them over. So how is this going to work? Never you mind, did you? Just go for it. Toothface, thank you so much. It's a privilege hanging out with you, and I'm seriously, I'm blessed to know you, and the community's blessed to have you. So thank you again for being a part of that, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you bring in 2023. Let's grab the Z coordinate for this bottom face here, and we're going to do this on the other side. All right. There we go. Now we've adjusted this. So technically, I can get rid of this and see what the other side looks like, but I don't think I'm done yet because I still need to extrude that face, which is what we need to do right now. But instead of having to do a whole bunch of weird stuff, I'm going to start the extrude process, and then we're going to go ahead and line up the vertice coordinates for each part of this new face. There's probably an even easier way for me to do this, but I don't know. It's kind of fun doing things that you don't know how to do in some sense, because it's just like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to try something and see what happens. And if I'm being honest, 2022 was way too much of me going, oh, but I don't know how to do this, so can I just find somebody that knows how to do it and just like have them do it for me? In one sense, yes, you could. But if you're trying to figure out how to do certain things on your own, you do need to go out on a limb, as it were, and just figure out how to do it. If that's your intent. If it's not your intent, like if you know you're just kind of like drawing and you don't want to create the paints that you're going to be using for the drawing you're going to make, then of course, yeah, go to the hobby store, buy the paints, and then paint. But that's not me. Two-faced. I am making, like I said, a change to my format for this year. I'm going to be doing a lot more scenery dev, probably some educational segments. So hit me up, talk to me on the DMs on Discord, and we'll see if we can't hook up or coordinate some time. Maybe either do a joint stream, or like I'll be in Discord in your stream and help you get started with some very very basic stuff in Blender, so that you kind of like get your feet wet and figure it out. Because I think creating scenery is definitely going to be a staple of my channel this year. And to help you get started, even if it's not for scenery development, but like say you're going to be using it for DCS, for example, but you need to figure out how to find your way around Blender. I'm using 2.83. I know 3 point something is out now, but for the purpose of showing you the ropes, I would be more than happy to give you an idea of what's up. Yeah, let's talk. Defo. Now, let's see. Okay, the good news, I've got 2 segments down. The bad news, I still have 2 segments to go. So, let me go ahead and do this a bit faster. And yeah, folks, I'm not afraid to say this. I have changed my format. I'm going to be flight sim streaming a lot less on stream, because I have 32 airports to build in for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and some for X-Plane as well. So I'm going to be enjoying flights, I think, off stream more. And I'm not ashamed of saying that, because I think I'm going to want to turn this channel into something that's more beneficial, not just for my hobby and my business, but to maybe pass along some wisdom to folks, and then have that turn into something new. Because at the beginning of last year, I was burnt out on flight sim streaming. I did not know if I wanted to keep going at all, in terms of like streaming content. And then I rediscovered my desire to create airports. And 6, 8, 9, 10 months later, here we are. 3.1.2. Thank you. Thank you. I've forgotten what version number that was. I think I have 3.1.2 installed. I think. But I'll test that maybe off stream, and then we'll see what I can do. I know after I'm done with Plymouth Municipal, I'm going to update my SDK and see what we can do going forward. Now, let me see. Can I... Well, I can easily get rid of the wall at this point. And now we have this looking a little bit different than it did before. And I'm going to save this as 7.5 for now. Alright, so I've got a slightly different version of this, but I don't want to go away just yet. So I'm going to go ahead and undo the face deletions I did, save it again, and save that. Okay, now let's see how revision 7 was. Okay, what I did before was I completely got rid of these faces, tied the segments together, and then came up with this. So yeah, it would have been plausible for me to, for example, extrude these edges, maybe, you know, pull this line down and then tie it to this, blah blah blah. But I think the way we did it again is better. So the question begins, or becomes rather, the question becomes, can I, oh wait, what's up with this? Hello? There we go. That took a while to load. Or is something up? I'm not sure. There we go. That's better. That's better. Okay, so we got the entire thing chosen. There we go. It was stuck for a little bit, actually. Yeah, so now I can extrude this back in, and I can see where the other side is. I need to break this up into pieces and then extrude them as well. So, let me do that next. I should be able to pick both of these edges, or both these sides. So let me try that. I'm going to go ahead and pick these, separate them. Come on. Alright. Alright, terminal window walls, or terminal window frame. Oh wait, hold on. Did I actually pick everything? I don't think I did. There we go. I don't think I picked the other side. I did not. No. Alright, now I can separate by selection, and now I have both of those sides chosen. So, I'm going to go ahead and do window frame 1. And now we have the window walls, the rest of the walls, and the window frame chosen. Okay. Now I should be able to separate these from the rest of the frame once I'm done editing them. Alright. First thing I have to do is split them in half. Oh, really? Do I want to care about that? That's a good question. All right, we'll call this the window. I'll pick both sides. All right. Bring it up by selection and say inner window 1. Oh, you know what? No. I want to say window frame 1 inner. A little confusing, but work with me. Wait, did I just completely get rid of it? No, I didn't. I didn't. Good. Good. Now I can pick the window section and do a loop cut and not have it dig into the other side. So the window is symmetric, so this makes it very easy for me. Choose this side, do a loop cut, bam. No, not like that. Click and enter immediately. There we go, we're done. Now, this is where things get interesting, because now we're going to inset these faces, and the insets are going to be the inner window frames and the windows themselves. It's like, Digi, you said like it's actually interesting. Well, in some sense, I'm kind of becoming an architect, uh, an armchair architect, which is kind of cool. Let's inset this. Oh, there is. It's either Shift Spacebar or I. Shift Spacebar lets me inset. Ooh, this is nice. Okay. And all right, now that I know how to choose it, let's take a look. The inset for the inner windows is actually a lot smaller. So press I, push it in, and I'd say about halfway. Like this is what we did last time. This is probably what I'll do now. And I will try to do the same thing with the other side. This is where it gets a little testy. Is that symmetrical? That's actually pretty close if it's not perfect. Okay, so let's make this look a little nicer. And lower this a little bit. There we go. I'll copy the Z coordinate just so I'm not eyeballing it on this side. And bam. All right. So what's the difference between here and here? It's about 8 thousandths. Almost. So like, let's see, was that 0.62 to 894? So it's like 8.832. Okay. Let's try this. 832. So what would that be? Well, okay, I'm gonna cheat. Let's do this with some numbers. Minus 832 would be 0211, I think. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. So I'm looking at the wrong value. So instead of 1043 minus, oh, 21.1? No, minus 3.4. Okay, so about 959, like 960. Watching that number. Okay, that looks about right actually. 959.6. You know what, chat? We'll just take this number. This looks pretty good. Yeah, I eyeballed it, but it's a pretty good eyeball. Okay, so now when I inset the faces, I'll be able to just take the vertice coordinates, and then just superimpose them on the actual inset faces here. All right. Shift space, inset, grab the inset tool, and push it in. And this time, it doesn't really matter whether or not it looks nice, because again, like I said, I'm taking the coordinates from the other side and applying them to the result. So it's going to take a little bit longer, unfortunately, but at the same time, I know exactly what I'm copying, I think. Ha! All right, sit tight. See, this will be the part of the YouTube video where I basically speed up the process so that you guys don't have to keep waiting. And some of you already know that I do software development as my day job. What brings home the bacon. But there is a chance that I might actually be leveraging that talent to make scenery development a bit more palatable in terms of leveraging my existing skills. And after I get these windows in set, I'll explain more of what's going on. But sit tight. And it looks like those edges are looking better and better. And now we'll do the same thing. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to repeat this like about 5 or 6 more times. So I thank you very much for coming alongside today and saying hello. Or if you're watching or lurking in the background or listening while you're taking care of some stuff today, thank you for lurking. I appreciate it. You raised my view count, so hats off to you. And if I can get the Z coordinate better, there we go. It looks even better that side. I do wish there was a way to be able to get this done more quickly, but this is how I'm doing it. I'll probably figure out some way to actually make it work in the future, but today I'm just getting an idea down. Okay, this should be good. Right, so that side's pretty good, and guess what, folks? I'm saving my work. Pavlin, hello, good friend. Thank you very much for the 20 bits cheer. Pavlin, if you don't know, is a established YouTuber. Does have a presence on Twitch, but the YouTube channel is probably the place where a lot more traffic takes place. I'll put the Twitch link in there just for funds. But Pavlin, feel free to give us links to your YouTube channels as well. Pavlin recently published a musical piece for the Christmas season, which I very much enjoyed. And Pavlin does prepared flights as well, but is in the process of preparing for the next PC build, which will take it to the next level. So Pavlin, drop those YouTube links in chat, and folks, feel free to check out those pages. We are messing around with inset window coordinates, and I'm going to go ahead and copy some more of these. Once this is done, I will see how the window looks, and then probably do the rest of the edits during the week. But yeah, like I said, I'm not going to spend the entire stream doing nothing but this. I do want to catch up with you folks again and let you know some of the ideas that I have for this year. One of which I think I shared with Two-Faced, but there we go. Let's copy these coordinates as well. And all right, 4:29 on the eastern coast in terms of tiempo, so I'm on pace today. Today's going to be a bit of a short stream, um, but future streams will probably be back up to the 2.5, 3 hour mark. So I will say there is a very good chance that I might be skipping out around like 5:15 to just be aware of any potential, drop in situation with fam. As some of you know, that my Christmas wasn't the best. We could have done with a better Christmas this year, but through the difficulties that we face as a family, we grew closer, and we are better because of it. Y'all know that we said goodbye to somebody that we loved dearly, and they passed away. I attended services. I was part of the service, and it's definitely something that you're not expecting. Well, like who can honestly say, okay, I'm gonna kick off next week. I'm by the way, I'm not joking about this. I'm just saying, like, stuff like that happens, and it kind of blindsides you. It does take your breath away, and you look around, and the person that you wanted to spend more time with is not there anymore. And um like, I feel comfortable sharing some details with you, chat, but, like, obviously there's some things that we're gonna keep, quiet. Who it was, where they live, blah blah blah. Like, I don't want to dox myself, and there's a little bit of privacy that I like to preserve. But when someone like that passes off the scene, they leave an impact. They leave a place that you'll always come back to. So yeah, it hasn't been easy, and to be honest, this is the first time I've dealt with grief on this kind of a scale. I have dealt with losing people this year. There have been, unfortunately, more than a few friends I've had to say bye to. Um, Many for simply for medical reasons, and it doesn't get easier. I think the process is, you wind up becoming stronger. It's something which impacts you, but in terms of how it impacted us, I'm choosing to move forward and to just do things better. And speaking of doing things better, let's see what happens if we remove these faces and how stuff looks now. So I still need to actually do things with the inside of these window faces, but now you see the difference. You see the difference, like, we have these, like, window sills, these frames. Obviously, this is not something I'm going to be doing with every single building I'm going to make ever, but in a case like Plymouth, we can go in on some of the details and make the windows appear a little bit nicer. I'm hoping that the changes come out better. Okay, so I think what I have to do at this point is decide how these windows are going to work. Oh, I know. Hold on. So we have two different windows. Yeah, so those are the windows. These can become transparent. Okay, good. So is that the way I want it done? Yeah, it's gonna have to be. So let me think. Okay, I have an idea. So select the freshly cut faces, separate them, and now this very long name is gonna have a purpose. Terminal window frame 1, inner window 1. That's one window. And now we're going to pick the other window. And is the other window still chosen? Yes, yes it is. Okay, great. All right, separate this into another window selection, and this one's what? This one's inner window 1. This is inner window 2. I'm probably overcomplicating this, but in some ways, I kind of don't care because I'm learning. So let's hide these inner windows for now, because now what I need to do is I need to finish the inner frame. Right. So these edges are going to be lined up. At least I think they will. For the purposes of simplicity, we're just going to line up the interior of the window frame. Is that how it works? Or am I missing something? Oh, that's beautiful, Mrs. Digi. Mrs. Digi showing me some crafts that she made, and she's an entrepreneur. She's got 2 businesses going right now. One of them is uh, growing in terms of the talent that she has. So I'm looking forward to what this year brings. I think she's really finding her own in terms of a very specific niche, and I think as you get very, very good at something, it's probably going to wind up being better and better. Well, naturally, but I'm just saying in terms of specializing in something, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so let's join us again. Let me try J. Invalid selection order. That's interesting. All right. Oh, that's why it looked borked, because I was looking at it from a different angle. All right. There we go. And yeah, I want the inner. Did I pick the inner? All right. Yeah, I think I did. All right. Great. Let's see. Those are the sides I want. Wait, why am I going to a different window? Focus on this one, Digi. I want these 2. Is that how it works? Yes, that's how it works. Like I said before, a potentially ridiculous amount of attention to detail for a single window frame, times 3. But we'll see how this pans out. There we go. Do that. Do that. And do that. And finally do... Is it this one? Yes. Yes, it is. Bam. Alright, so if it did it correctly, just the interior is bridged. It's not looking weird. Okay. Sheesh, maybe this is why architects like their jobs. Because stuff comes together, looks pretty. Alright, let's re-enable those those windows themselves. Okay, I see. Alright, so we're going to turn these back on. And now we're going to get rid of the terminal wall texture. Oh, I have to pick them. I picked the wrong thing, I guess. Not service hanger wall, I want terminal wall. Did I pick the wrong one? Oh, thank you. That's what happened. Let's get rid of that. There we go. All right, a very easy, quick way of showing that once you have these things selected, you can literally get rid of the windows. Now, I can, in theory, select them and apply material to them. Okay, so while you're not looking, I'm going to go ahead and turn off MSFS because I need to build this, like build this properly. And to do that, I need to turn off the airport scenery. Otherwise, the new object build is going to fail because I'm technically adding a new material to the object, and that's going to prevent it from loading properly. And then I have to turn it off, do a whole bunch of stuff, and yeah, I've learned the hard way. I will do a better job. So, how do I do this? Oh, easy. Charter terminal window material. Now just call it charter terminal window because I don't think anything else is named that. Nope, and it wasn't. Okay, so the material is going to be, it's going to be glass, MSFS glass. Oh, God bless you. Well, the cat sneezed. And then we can choose charter terminal window. And there we go. There is glass. And if this works correctly, you should be able to see through it perfectly. Yes. So, yes, that is what has to be done to build a window. And I'm not even saying I've built this correctly. I'm just saying I've built this. So, let's go ahead and choose everything. And now we're going to export this and get ready for a build, chat. Stand by. So, we export. And most of the settings should be retained. I'm not applying modifiers to this just yet. And if I do export, I should be able to find a folder where everything is and copy it over. And if it works correctly, you will see the results in the sim. Give me like 5 minutes to do this. What you're not seeing is me going through my folders. And I didn't add a new texture to it. Or did I? No, I didn't. I didn't. I might have affected the wall paint. So I'm going to take a look at the wall. Oh, no, I didn't. Good. Good. I did not. All right. Stand by. We'll export it one more time. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the folder where everything is. No, not the Windows Store. Silly. And I didn't add a new material. I just added an MSFS material, which is going to be built when it's compiled. We'll copy the bin, GLTF, and XML files over. And now we're going to go to the folder where everything is output. Most of it anyway. Package sources. And where's my building area? Okay, it's right here. There we go. And we replace the files. Actually, maybe I should save them? No. I'm going to resist the temptation because I don't want to have those files there. I can just pick a different version and rebuild it. Okay, and now... No. Refresh, please. That's better. Okay, great. We've got that built. I can go to the folder, topmost folder. And now we're building. Okay, so it's building in the background. It might complain about one or two things. I shouldn't get any errors though. If I do, there might be a problem. Okay, so one of the things that it showed was I thought it said it was preparing glass. At least it looked like it. Okay, okay. I do see that it did take time to do stuff. So that's good. Now we can reboot the sim and actually see it show up. All right, so here's where you actually get to see the progress. I will hide Blender and we'll see everything get loaded in. All right, so it should load in pretty soon. There we go, right there. I'll keep the sim muted for now since I'm playing background music. Also, an excellent time for me to catch up with chat. So again, hello everybody. Glad that you tuned in today. I'm building scenery in Microsoft Flight Sim alongside my beautiful wife, Mrs. Digi, who is working on crafting right now. And we're hoping for a nice chill evening. There's a possibility that we might get together with some more family again. You don't think so? Okay. All right. So we'll figure things out. Put it you that way. Um, I might, I might work on this a little bit more, and maybe I might actually even do a flight in the sim. I know. DG's gonna fly a plane in the sim. Is crazy. I might, but I might go either in this sim or X-Plane 12 if the muse strikes. I updated to the final release candidate for X-Plane. It's like release candidate 6, but it's basically gold at this point. It's set. So I mean, X-Plane 12 has some nice looking clouds and some really nasty weather. It can take you out if you're not careful. I want to create scenery for X-Plane as well, but I have to keep learning the tools, and I have to spend time doing that. So I'm going to be doing that this week. Okay, we're loaded. Let's go to Plymouth and see what we've done so far. Here it is, KPYM. And these are default spots. This is the default airport. Let's pull the time back a bit. 2:02 would be fine. 2 o'clock is fine as well. Even 1:51. So when we load in, you're going to see the default airport. And then we're going to load in our airport on top to see what the differences are. And there we go. I am running MSFS with Rex Acu Seasons. I picked that up about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. I'm really glad I did. It, I have nothing against green trees. I am just saying, when you get a chance to represent foliage the way it looks IRL, the difference is, it's noticeable. I was waiting and waiting and waiting for Asobo to say, hey, we're going to release seasons with the next update. And they kind of already have, it's just that they haven't implemented the changing of colors. So I'm glad that Rex stepped up and provided this as a means of being able to do that. One of the issues, of course, with the default airport is the computerized placement of things. You can tell the satellite data is off a little bit in terms of where the runway is placed and where the picture shows up. So I have my project, and one of the first things that we did was we started working on ground placements. I haven't worked on the taxi signs yet, however. Those are things that'll come probably towards the end. But here is what I've done so far. We moved the default beacon light, which was, I think it was here, right here. We've touched up the runways, added a bunch of start positions, and again, we added some custom buildings. And one of the custom buildings is, of course, this. And nope, not there yet. Okay, so I think I need to finish tying all of the edges of this so this glass looks the way it's supposed to. Good thing, good thing. Fail forward, right, chat? Right. So the good news is, now that I've got the materials in a sim, I should be able to make changes and fast track the build process. So let's go to this and tie these edges together, because I think that's what I forgot to do. I have to basically, tie everything together, as they say. I don't know why it's not letting me pick both sides, though. Okay. Let's try this one. Okay. No. There we go. We tied that side. Hopefully I'm not messing anything up, but we'll find out soon enough, won't we? All right. Fortunately, doing this is a lot less, a lot less complex than what we were doing a few minutes ago. I think that worked. Okay. And same thing with this window. Bam. Okay, got that tied up. Let's go ahead and finish this side as well. And there we go. Now, let's take a look at this window again. That's the window. Then go inside the window. Okay, so this still isn't done yet. I wonder why. Let's see if we can't fix that. There we go. Okay, got it done. At least I think we do. Hopefully what that means is with a 3D object, we'll be able to see clear through the other side. I thought we were before, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh, wait, hold on. I probably forgot to do something. Hold on. This has got to be a case of user error. All right. I'm looking online. Hold on. Blender, MSFS, glass, and I think I think I saved something. You have to have backface culling turned on. So backface culling has to be turned on. Oh, this was for windshield, but hold on. I get it. I was looking at something else. Blender, MSFS glass. Probably something even simpler than that. Okay, so base color is almost transparent. Backface culling. We're using MSFS glass. So backface culling, show backface? That's weird. Okay, I'm double checking some stuff right now for settings. Actually, that's a good point, Wambi. Let me check, because I think you might have explained glass to me before. I'm gonna send it to my Discord right now. And let me sign in. All right, standby one. Standby caller. 701. Mirror modifier, I see. And duplicate, rotate, and bridge edge loops. Take a look at this one. All right. If you're not using the same version that I am, it looks pretty close. Ooh, look at that. You're even whatchamacallit, pulling the inset faces in. That's cool. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Potentially something which I'm going to look into. White Leg, hello. Welcome aboard, friend. Glad to have you here. Happy New Year to you. Hope that you're doing very, very, very well. I have been trying to get back into the swing of things, and honestly, it is very nice to have friends in chat helping me along. We are about to fix a problem that I have with glass textures, and just give me recommendations. White 0.01 alpha, metal 0, rough 0, which is probably my problem. The materials are wrong. All right, sit tight. Let me get back into Blender if I haven't already closed it. Why can't I see Blender anymore? Doesn't show up when I alt tab. Oh well. Okay, so base color is white, and then we use 0.01 alpha. Alpha, metal 0, roughness 0. Roughness 0. Got it. We'll take away the clear coat as well. That's probably what I failed to do. And I think it's the same way on the other side as well. Okay, let me save this. This might have been all I needed to do. Exporting. And we'll go back into the sim. Good point. Right, I should be able to copy the files over without difficulty. And here we go. Let's see if it works. Oh, ho, ho, look at that. It's beautiful. I can see inside the building now. Ah, oh, wonderful. And there's a little bit of bloom difference, so you can see when you're inside versus when you're outside. Thank you so much, my friend. They're extremely simple, and I don't have the white texture for the window frame yet, but that's something I can work on. So there we go. There we go. It's not that bad. I'm happy with that for today. I'll be working on this off stream and when I'm just like chilling out for the night. But that's one more step in the right direction. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to save a screenshot of this so I don't lose the info that Wambi gave me. and we're going to put down the tools and go flying. What do you say, guys? I'm going to save that to my pictures folder. Thank you. This is what it is right now, and hopefully I'll be able to add a lot more materials. I'm sorry, a lot more details. I mean, I might have like a default building or two left over, but as I go, I'm going to start learning how to do more details, even like these textures, so that you're going to have stuff like that show up for the regular buildings that I'm working on. Maybe add more gutters, stuff like that, but not go too crazy. I mean, if I'm going to add gutters, they're going to be really simple representations. Like, we can add details without increasing polygon counts massively. I would like to learn how to build the lights that turn themselves off during the day, and if I can learn how to do that while I'm here, I'll apply it to this airport. But there we go. I'll save my progress. I will build the airport, and then I'm going to stretch my legs for a few seconds, probably plug in some joysticks, and maybe have some fun flying. What's that? Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna plug in my Christmas tree as well, because I'm gonna be lighting that Christmas tree at least until Lent. So until Mrs. DG heals from her upcoming surgery. All right. So folks, sit tight for me. I'm gonna put you on mute for a little bit, keep the music playing, and we're gonna sign up for a little flight in the sim. We'll figure out where we're going, whether or not it's gonna be on network. But yeah, I'll be right back. All right, folks, I'm back. I took a while longer than I intended, but that was because I decided to eat something really quickly instead of just bringing the food back to my desk. I do still have some coffee with me, which I'll probably be dipping into for the sake of the flight. But let me go ahead and do two things. I'm going to go back to the main menu. I might be able to. You know what? It's probably just going to be easier for me to restart the sim. I like having a fresh sim after I've been doing some dev work anyway, so let me also close Blender. So, do you want me to fly somewhere specific? Feel free to put it up in chat because I'm going to go ahead and set up for a flight right now. Turn off my Blender for the day, and I'm going to close my other windows as well. So close that window down, and bam. Right. So, right now I'm thinking about doing a flight on the East Coast or the West Coast of the US. I can also do a flight in Europe, but I won't do VATSIM in Europe since I'm not comfortable with procedures as much as I should be. I could probably also fly in Africa, India, Japan, Australia. Let me know if you're looking for any specific spot. Um, if nobody says anything, I'm probably going to fly out of either Boston, Philly, or somewhere in the Caribbean. Like we might try flying into Princess Juliana, or I might try to revisit either Barbados or like St. Thomas. Ooh. Or maybe a flight out of like San Juan into St. Thomas or St. Kitts or something like that. Yeah, actually, hold on, chat. Hold on. I'm going to reboot the simulator because obviously the screen's off, so I apologize for that. But while we're waiting, let's go to you know what? Let's go to Barbados. That sounds like a great idea. A nice quickie trip. If I fly out of San Juan, I'm thinking it's probably only going to be like about an hour. I think. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. And if I fly out of Barbados, I might be tempted to do VATSIM down there because I think I've flown in and out of like, Puerto Rico and like the Dominican Republic and like Jamaica. I don't know if I've done it VATSIM flight to Jamaica, but Barbados just sounds a lot better. So I'm going to fire up VATSPY for the purposes of finding the airport. Still don't know if I want to do tonight's flight on VATSIM, but give me a bit. There we go. If we're going to go to Barbados, then we're going to go to Grantley Adams, which I believe is TBPB. And if we're going to do that, let me see what the flight time is between San Juan and Barbados. So flight time is total flight from San Juan to Bridgetown, Barbados is 1 hour and 38 minutes. What about from Princess Juliana, Barbados? St. Martin to Barbados, flight time. Okay, St. Martin to Barbados. It takes just over 1.25 hours. There we go, chat. From TNCM to TBPB. I flew to Barbados, I think, once when I had X-Plane 11, and I've flown to St. Thomas. Not St. Thomas, St. Lucia in FSX. So to say that a Caribbean visit is overdue, that's about right. Let me go ahead and fade the music out for a little bit. And let's go ahead and put the sim volume back up. A little punchy. That feels about right for volume. Let me know if it's too loud. Okay, so we have options. We can do a business jet flight. We can do an airliner flight. We're not driving down there. There's no land bridge that long. You know what we'll do though? I don't know how to fly the A310 yet, and I think the 747's overkill. This is the old Embraer E-Jets, so I'm not going to fly that one. I'll probably fly it off stream. I don't know if I want to do the Dreamliner. I could. I just, no, no. This just feels too right. Do I have a Caribbean livery for it? I might not. We could pretend that United or Southwest has a layover in St. Martin on the way down to Barbados, or Air Canada does. Let's have some fun with it. Let's just say American did a flight from San Juan to Barbados with a layover in St. Martin. So let's do that. So I think the tail number is already on the ship, so I won't need that. But I will go ahead and set myself up for the flight. And we'll pick American 197 and we'll go flying. Okay. Let's pick the departure airport. We'll go to TNCM. And it's right here. We'll dial the time back a bit, and we will fly with live traffic. We'll see who else is up in the digital skies. So this is kind of cool. I wasn't expecting to go fly on stream, much less to the Barbados, but there we go. It has been a while since I've booted up the 737 and there was an update. Very nice. All right, we're back in the cockpit of the PMDG 737-600. Something which I think is appropriate for today's flight. This is, I guess you could call it an island hopping variant. So let's go ahead and clean up and get ready for our flight today. And I do think in the last Caribbean update they made this a handcrafted airport, which is fantastic. There might not be any interior, but the exterior looks pretty nice. Yeah, I like this. And this is just default scenery. Unless, of course, I downloaded a freeware add-on. I don't think I did. Or if I did, I forgot. It's nice. And as y'all know, I'm a big fan of the 736 because this plane is just like small and fast. So let's do this. Let's get this thing connected. And battery on, emergency lights armed. And we will, oh, go downstairs. I need to get myself set up here. We'll get the ground power over here quickly. And I should be able to connect power now. There we go. Ground power is available. That's a lot better. So ground power. We'll begin the alignment process. Test the flight control surfaces. Looks like they're good. And the stall warning tests won't come on until a little bit later. I suspect the hydraulics have to come online a little bit. What else am I missing? I spent a lot of time flying the Zebo, so I know a little bit of experience with the plane, but there's plenty, of course, that I don't know about in terms of real-world operations. Let's get the circuit breaker lights up. We'll get the panel brightening. Yeah, stream speak is a thing. We'll get the panel brightness up. And what else do we need? Logo light on, of course. It's a digi flight after all. Window heats to on because I can. And hydraulics are partly available. We'll get the packs on. Keep the isolation valve open, and we'll get the APU bleed on in just a bit. But we have to build our flight first. Hey, Mr. P222, my dear friend. I hope that you're doing very well. Happy New Year to you. You're already like a day ahead of us, so you're doing it. Folks, if you like flight sim and you want to see somebody that you might not have spent time with before, go check out Mr. P222, a friend of what I like to call the new school, some of the best up and coming Twitch streamers that are out there. Mr. P222 has had his hand in quite a few things other than flight sim, and I've seen him race, I've seen him DJ. You need to go check Mr. P222 out, please. You are from the future. How is it there? All right. Don't mind me getting a 737 prep. This is a 737-600. We just got it connected to ground power, and I need to finish the alignment process. So go to nav. That'll take real-time alignment. And I might actually be able to do the stick shaker stall horn test now. Oh, not yet, not yet. It'll take a little bit. I think I've got 8 minutes before we finish aligning. So, don't mind me. Oh, there are? Nice. I'm glad to hear that, friend. Glad to hear that. Kangaroos and koalas. Mrs. Digi is pleased. Yeah, Mrs. Digi thinks that's always good, so I'm happy about that. All right. Oh, you know what I can do? I can... Oh, she's asking if there are wallabies in the future as well. Let me know. She'll take a wallaby. Nice. Let me fix this main panel lighting because I am Digi and I like things lit up. And that should do it for now. Okay, so the lighting is set. We'll go through these flows like I usually do on the Zebo. I know I've got the battery on the bus and we've got ground power right now. The APU isn't running yet. That's because we haven't turned it on yet. And let me get a flight set. So I'm going to go to my sim brief and fire up a flight right now. Hey, I wasn't expecting to fly. This is a nice little surprise. So I'm going to go ahead and log into Navigraph. Oh, yes, I do have a cool wife. I do have a cool wife. Mrs. Digi and I have been married for a while, and there is no question in my mind that she's awesome. But she particularly she's been part of the driving force in encouraging my flight sim habits. So, you know, when I got started and I was only using Flight Simulator X, I would like pretend I was doing a flight, like, with an airline or something. I get up to cruise and be like, okay, we've reached our cruising altitude. Can I go to the galley, get anything for you? So we get like cereal. Yeah, yeah. She's flight crew, so she's got to be in the same room. But otherwise we cool. I I even got her to the point where she's like, okay, now, well, like whenever I hear an airplane going by, I have to find out what it is. So she pulls out her phone and gets like the flight aware app to look it up. Oh man, which is really cool. It's really cool. All right, so let's find 736 in the sim brief page, and we'll get it going. Oh, Mr. P said, unfortunately, wallabies and koalas are actually hard to find, but they do see kangaroos bouncing around the open. And he sends love. Kangaroos got muscles. Yeah. All right. I need to see what the tail number is. It is November 9er77 November November. November 9er77 November November. And it's probably going to be a fin number of 3 Mike Victor. Okay. The scheduled flight time is an hour and 40 minutes. We'll probably get there a lot faster. And we're going to be flying past a few islands and then like kind of like it'll look like open air, open sea, excuse me, before we get to Barbados. We will take an extra, I want to say what, an extra 2,000 pounds? And that should do it for us. We should be okay. We'll generate the flight right now, and we should be able to get that stuff loaded in. It's Tangled. Hello. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you. How are you doing? Hopefully your New Year's has kicked off well. Glad to have you aboard today. We're flying to uh, we're flying to Barbados. You're flying the 600? Oh yeah, I'm flying the 600. I'm okay. I'm okay. Mrs. Digi and I are just chilling out tonight, and we're trying to do our best to start the new year off right. We have our moments, not gonna lie. We miss somebody very dear to us that passed away recently, but we're navigating it as best we can. Now, I'm going to open up this in a separate PDF. I'm also going to have my Navigraph charts page open as well. Hopefully not too much at once. So I will close the other windows which I had open to save on space. We'll import from SimBrief and we'll take the uh, Princess Juliana to Bridgeport flight. Very nice. So we've got that set, and what are we going to be cruising at today, actually, is the question. Our flight level for today's flight is going to be 390. Oh, yeah, yeah, thank you so much for your condolences. It's a thing. It's a thing, it happens. Chat, 39,000 feet for a roughly hour and 15-minute flight. I think that's a little bit of overkill, so we're going to actually cruise at flight level 3. I'm going to say 330. That way we'll have more time in cruise. Maybe 360. 360 is more of a hand and glove fit. And if I'm going to look up the time for the landing altitude for, excuse me, for Grantley Adams, let's find those charts. The airport's at an elevation of 169 feet. Yeah, 360 sounds better. So we'll go to 200 feet for the pressurized altitude, and that should be fine. And now I can enter my IRS position. Also, let's can we get the stairs connected? Oh, not the stairs, excuse me, the jetway. Work with me, plane, come on. I still haven't purchased GSX for MSFS. I might. I don't see it as that much of a requirement right now because I'm not like that big on it. Like I still have it installed for P3D, so I might actually have that instead of the other stuff. But I don't know. All right. Can I get the jetway connected, please? Let's see if it works. Nice. Here we go. Jetway's connecting. Okay, jetway's coming aboard. We'll get an air conditioning unit as well. And I'm going to assume that everybody else is taking care of business. So we'll get catering and baggage being handled as well. And that's fine. Let's go back into the computer and start getting ourselves set up for the flight. So I recently updated my AirX, so we should be good. We'll go to Posinit, go to TNCM, and we'll say gate 4, unless it doesn't work. Yeah, I'm not worried about that then. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, hello. Why did you go on the other side? Maybe I do need stairs. Lel. Um, yeah. Um, folks, not the best positioning for the jetway, I'm gonna say. No, can't even see past it. Okay, I need the first officer controls then. Stand by. Is it gonna go away? There we go. Thank you. Um, yeah, we'll take stairs instead. How about that? Not that it matters, but we'll just play the role, make it look the part. And while I'm working on that, let's go ahead and get ourselves set. So we'll take GPS coordinates for the IRS positioning, and we will start from TNCM and work our way to TBPB. Okay, flight number American 197. And we're going to set the flight plan up ourselves. So, out of that won't buff out. How about no? Yeah. I think if they've gotten as far with GSX as I hope they have, there's still some stuff to work out, but good profiles and a little bit of patience will probably work out the rest of the stuff. So, I believe you. I believe you. Out of Princess Juliana, we're going to take runway 10. So we're taking off to the east, and we're going to take. We're not going to take a route. We're probably going to take the. Is there standard flight plan? No, there isn't. Okay, route. Runway 10. What? Wait. What is? What is? Oh, there we go. Juliana 2. Route activate. Let me see what that looks like right now. Ah, good. Good. We'll take this. We'll take this. That's fine. If it looks a little messy, we'll fix it. Great. We'll add Papa Juliet Mike. And then we'll take airway Bravo 520 to Ilopo. And then we'll take uniform Bravo 520 to Alpha November uniform. These are VORs. And then uniform Alpha 632. All right, stand by. That goes to Bravo Golf India. And then we go direct destination. All right. We've got that set. And we're going to be landing on runway 09er. So, what do we think? ILS Zulu? Let's take ILS Zulu. Now, I need to find out which transition I want for that airport. So if I pick ILS Zulu for runway 9er, I want, I think, Beanock, because it's going to be coming from the north. Now, here's the thing. I want to see how it looks on the plan because of stuff like this. So, if I take off, I kind of have this loop-de-loop action here that takes me here and then apparently goes back to the airport and then Ilopo. And then we get there, we get to the airport. So I might actually get rid of this waypoint because if I can go straight to Beanock, I will. And then we can get lined up with the runway. Yeah, I like that a lot better. I'm gonna get rid of that that VOR as well because I'm offline and I can. And there we go. If I was flying on VATSIM, I would probably keep some or all of the discontinuities, especially if I'm being vectored on an approach into an airport, so that ATC has a chance to basically tell me where to go, instead of my plane actually just steering there automatically. So there we go. We've got the plan in place. I'm going to go ahead and go back to map mode. And what is the standard, well, not the standard, the local pressure today in Princess Juliana? Local pressure is 1018. So let's go ahead and switch this over to hectopascals. Can I switch? There we go. 1018. There we go. And when we land at Grantley Morris, what are we going to take? What's our minimums? Minimums are going to be 600 feet. So we'll punch that up now. There we go. 600 feet is set. And we do have air stairs. Let's go ahead and open up the doors. There we go. We'll pretend folks are boarding. They've already gotten our baggage and catering taken care of, so we're just taking on passengers. And what else can I do? I've got the flight plan set, which I'll set on this screen, and I think the rest that I need to do is performance. So init ref, there we go. All right. Now what do we want? We want to take a look at the map, not the map, the dispatch. We planned on 122 passengers. How many passengers are flying? Let me see. Payload, we have 112. So we're going to take like 10 less. Cargo was set for 6,700. So we're going to split that down the middle. 3,350 up front and in the back. And that gives me a zero fuel weight of 110.1, which is actually pretty close to what we had before. And fuel needs to be 15,200 pounds. Actually, we'll make it 16,400 pounds. There we go. And takeoff weight's going to be pretty close to 126,100 pounds max. We're actually 126.5, but the maximum is 145, so we're well within our limits. So fuel and payload are taken care of. We've got air conditioning going on right now with ground power, and I can go ahead and start prepping some other stuff. So Course heading out of Princess Juliana. Let's go back to that airport. Open charts. Course heading, if we take runway 10, magnetic deviation is 0, 9, or 6. That is what I'll set my initial heading to, just in case we have to turn back for whatever reason. Let's see. So, for the approach course for Grantley, where's the approach course? For Grantley Adams, there we go. Approach course is going to be 0, 9, or 1. There we go. Approach course is set. I'll turn on my flight directors. And I need to set my, performance numbers. Now I can do 1, 2, 6. Wait, that's takeoff weight. What was my zero fuel weight? Let me double check. 110.1. There we go. $110.1. Reserves for today's flight are going to be 1.1. The cost index is going to be 5. So a chill flight, and we're going to be flying at 360, not 39er. Okay, and cruise winds at cruise are going to be somewhere around 326 at 29er. And planned fuel for today's trip is going to be 15.2. There we go. We will do a full takeoff, no derate, and we'll do flaps 5, which means 119, 120, and 130 for V1 rotate and V2 speeds. Also means we're going to put 130 up top. And now we can do auto throttle arm. We can hit the VNAV and LNAV buttons. LNAV armed, VNAV didn't, that's okay. And we will set final climb to our cruise altitude, since I'm not on VATSIM, and since I don't think the departure actually has a maximum on the required altitude. But after I do that, let me just check the charts real fast. Let's just check. So, we were taking, I think, the Juliana 2 departure. So, if I take a look at the Juliana 2, we have to be at or above 4,000 by Papa Juliet Mike. But I think we should be good. So again, no restriction, no actual climb restriction, so we should be fine. We've got our baro set, our altimeter set, and we've got our flight plan and performance numbers in the box. So now we should be able to get the APU started and start getting ourselves on our way. Sit tight, folks. We're going to get going pretty soon. Downstairs, I will set my squawk code. And what else? Oh, I'll set my frequency as well so that I know what I'm going to be doing once I get to Grantley Adams. Approach. Oh, I had it. So, I'm going to take a look at Zulu again. What was I looking for? The frequency. 110.1. Okay, 110.1 on both sides. But we're not going to tune it until we've at least crossed transition altitude. So, give me a bit. Should be okay at this point. At least I think we should be. And we're still on chocks right now, so we don't have the parking brake armed. But we'll take care of that in just a bit. I will get the beacon light on and start prepping. So yaw damper to the on position. And before we continue, let me just check the stick shaker warnings. There we go. Those work. We're good. We'll check flight control surfaces. That's good. One more time. Yeah, they all show up. Okay. Back upstairs we go. Yaw damper is now on. I'll get the aft fuel pump going so we can turn on the APU. We'll get the APU started right now. And we will get the APU bleed on. APU will come up in just a bit. Gonna push back pretty soon. And I'll get my hydraulic pumps all the way on. And I think that's it for right this instant. I will probably get my pushback coordinated. And pushback. Here we go. So we were pre-planned the pushback. I think just past the roadway should be fine. And then we're going to request the pushback in a bit once we know we have the APU running. APU is available. APU gen. We will remove the ground power. Release AC. Release ground power. Send the stairs away. And we will also close the outside door. Okay, these doors are closed. I don't see any cargo doors open on that side. These doors are closed. Yep, they're going away. Ah, beautiful. Man, I'm feeling Caribbean all of a sudden. So that should be it. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to actually arm my parking brakes. So, hold the brakes down. Give me parking brakes. We can remove those chocks as well. We'll do that after we get everything set. Yaw dampers on. We've got fuel pump flowing to the APU. Batteries on the bus. APU gen is on. We have seatbelt signs all the way on. And I think we're about ready to go. One thing I'm going to do now is turn the packs off in preparation for pushback. And that should be everything I need. I should be able to remove the wheel chocks at this point. Good. And what else am I missing? I don't think I'm missing anything at this point. And that's it. Performance is set, and we have our departure set. We have our MCP set as well. I'll probably set my vertical speed for the climb to about 3,200 feet per minute. And that should do it. And that's it. Let's call for pushback and get ourselves out of here.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
Okay, am I missing anything? I don't think so. Oh, you know what I could do? Check my CG. 5.29. That's what I forgot to do.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
Sweet, here we go.
We are cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brake. Released.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
All right, here we go. Right engine, engine number 2. Oh, and of course we need all the fuel flow things. I don't know if we have fuel on top. No, we don't. Don't think so. Okay, we're good. Let's get an interior view as well. I think I like that view. Almost done. All right, left engine. Here we go. Left engine online. And EGT is rising. Or should be.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Alright, stand by.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Ground. Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Roger. Good engine start. Cleared to disconnect. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Okay. Engine gens are on. Probe heats can come on. Packs can come back down. Isolation valve to auto. APU bleed off. APU off. Alright. See ya, friend. Let's finish up top. All the fuel pumps that are required are on at this point. Batteries on the bus. We've got Gen 1. Galley power is on. And we've got standby power. Emergency lights armed. Gens are running. We'll get the taxi light on. And we will double check ourselves. Probes are on. No NTIs required, at least not right now. Packs are auto. Isolation valve is auto. Recirc fan is on. APU bleed is off. We have our altitude set. And I'll get my wing lights on when we get close to departure. But that's it. Let's go ahead and check our flight control surfaces. Just a really quick basic check here. We're going to do full left, full right, full forward, full back, and then full left deflection on the rudder, full right deflection on the rudder. There we go. Just a little bit chatty, but not as chatty as it was before. Added more of a dead zone. And now I think we should be ready to go. I'll reset the fuel flow. And that's it. Parking brakes have been released, and now we can begin our taxi. Alright folks, good afternoon. Welcome aboard American Airlines Flight 197 with service to Barbados today from beautiful Princess Juliana International in St. Martin. Hope you've enjoyed your stay on the island. We're going to take you to Barbados this time with connections to cruise lines in the area. And weather today looks absolutely nice out there with some nice puffy clouds and some warm breezes, which I'm sure you'll enjoy once you get down there. Flight time for today should probably be just a bit over an hour and 15 minutes, so sit back, relax, let's take care of you. And our flight attendants will be taking care of your needs and your safety, so pay attention to them as they go over the safety features of this aircraft. Thank you and enjoy your flight. Okay, so not bad, not bad. About 4 minutes from pushback to moving. Not bad for a handcrafted airport, thanks to Asobo. I'm pleased with it. We are in St. Martin. This is I have reason to believe this is one of those handcrafted airports that they actually gave as a result of a world update. I'm not disappointed. I don't know. I like what I see. Yeah, I do. I do actually. Let's go ahead and hold short here. Make sure we're prepped for departure. Yeah, it looks nice. If you're looking for an excuse to get down to St. Martin, I think the handcrafted scenery that's down here is pretty good. Unless, of course, I missed something and I actually have a freeware scenery installed. I don't think I do. Let's go ahead and turn the taxi lights off and get the landing lights on. And we'll get the engine start switches to, excuse me, continuous. We'll get the wing lights on. And I will get my position lights set to strobe. One last check up top. I think we're good to go otherwise. I think we should be set. Isolation valve to auto. And yeah, we're in the clear. Let's go ahead and get ourselves set to depart. Flight attendants, please take your seats for departure. Thank you. All right. Where is that chrono button? Right about there. Parking brake released. Engine start switch is set to continuous and auto brake is set to RTO. And if you'll excuse me, there we go. TARA as we almost taxi off the surface. What am I missing? What am I missing? No, T is set. It's already set. Right, here we go. Off to Barbados for probably the very first time in the sim. It's a default scenery as well, so we'll enjoy the natural essence of the island, if you will. I don't know why my rudder is so chatty today. Let me see. Is it just the way the airplane actually taxis? No, it's not. It's not moving. It's not going the other way. Yeah, it could just be the way that the plane behaves. That's fine. We've got more than enough runway to get ourselves out of here. Let's get rolling. Engines are stable and toga. Oh, excuse me. Forgot to set my flaps. They are deploying. 80 knots, disregard. Alright, here we go.
Positive reincline.
Gear up, please. Flaps to 1. Flaps to up. Still hand flying. Kind of fun, actually. Let's get the indicated airspeed up to 250. I'm pretty sure I don't have VNAV available, but let's see. Oh, we do have VNAV. Command A then. Auto brake disarm. Flaps are all the way up. Running lights on. And we are out of here, folks. King Cobra, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. You just caught us for our departure out of Princess Juliana. We're flying to Grantley Adams International tonight in Barbados. And we are flying the 737-600 from PMDG. And man, are we climbing fast. We were like 4,600 feet per minute. No jokes. Gear to the off position. Taking in some late afternoon sunshine. Thanks for stopping in today, King Cobra. Really hope you're doing great. All right, 10,000 feet. We can turn the engine start switches back to off. And I'll set my current heading to 131. And course heading to 091 for Barbados. A little bit bumpy as we fly out of there. But that was kind of fun. Is that St. Bart's down there? I think it is, actually. Nice. That's pretty cool. I don't know, man. Maybe I'll have to come back at some point this week and do a landing challenge or some fun hops into St. Martin from into St. Bart's from St. Martin or something like that. Very nice. Okay, so already on our way up to 14,000 feet, and we're going to fly all the way to flight level 360 for our flight today to Barbados. 390 did seem a bit too far up there, so we're going to enjoy this flight today. You challenge me to put a 737 down at St. Bart's. Wow. Well, let me think. A 737-600, maybe. A 733 or 732, probably. In terms of size, I don't think they're going to be that much smaller than a 600, though. So the concept is still a little challenging, but I mean, maybe? I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. I tell you what, Toothpaste, if I actually do it this week, and I do it like during the week, I will, I might capture it on video for you. Complete freedom. Hello, friend. I'm sorry I missed your message earlier, but hello. Hope you're doing very well today. I am enjoying a flight on stream and flying to Barbados. Folks, if you haven't already done so, please, please take a moment of your time to go say hi to Complete Freedom on Twitch. Complete Freedom is one of my dear friends from from just streams past and present, and just putting out content and getting his IRL commercial stuff done for his license for flying. Complete Freedom, I'm not gonna lie. Mrs. Digi and I are doing the best we can with just starting into the new year. You know that we had a rougher holiday season than we wanted for sure, but we're taking it moment by moment and just navigating the best we can. What makes it easier is to be around each other, around family, around friends like yourselves. So thank you so much. Thanks for your support today. I'm happy to have you here. That's pretty much all I want. If all you do is follow and say hi, that's great. We've gotten to standard pressure and we're still climbing around 2,600 feet per minute, but I should be able to let the flight attendants out. Otherwise, I think we're okay. Yeah, we should be pressurizing automatically. Isolation valve is set to auto. And what are we looking at for pressure right now? Cabin altitude is like 3,000 feet. Yeah, we're pressurized. Or pressurizing. If I was being completely honest with you, the older that I get, the more that I realize that's just so true. Family is golden, and relationships with people trump anything you could possibly do for yourself or anything you could possibly get yourself. Yes, applying yourself and pursuing, diligently getting after improving yourself, that's good. But I'm learning more and more these days. It's just like, enjoy the journey and don't focus on things you don't need to focus on. I'm starting to be a lot more guarded of my resources, my time. Not because I don't want to give people money. No, that's not the point. The point is I wanna I wanna be I wanna pay attention to the things that have to be taken care of. So yeah, yeah. It's been rough, dude. I'm not even gonna lie, it's been rough. It's been really rough. But the Lord is good and He supplies strength even when it seems like you have absolutely none. That's a given. So very happy that I'm able to just catch my breath for a moment. And even when stuff sucks a lot, there's still peace and joy. There is something that I saw on a video that my wife was watching earlier today, which really kind of touched her and it touches me now. I think it was a t-shirt you saw that says something like grief and joy can coexist. Grief and joy can coexist. You think those two things are polar opposites, but in my particular circumstance, I want them both. Because I know the one's right there, so I want the other one too. We have gotten past flight level 270, so now we're going to get back to our Mach numbers for airspeed. We're about to hit Mach 0.7, and hopefully by the time we get up to cruise, we should be like Mach 0.74 or something. It's going to be a relatively quick flight today. I'm tempted to push the engines a bit more, but I'm not worried about it. Actually, we're almost full blast right now, 99.1% N1, both sides. We're climbing pretty quickly for our altitude. So hopefully we'll get to cruise altitude, hang out there for a while, and then come down soon. So, we're almost to cruise. This is a great time for me to catch up with you. As you know, I took some time to review my process for things like scenery development, streaming, and just took some time to think about the future. I do want to do a lot more scenery development. I'm probably going to be doing more scenery dev where I don't talk so much and do scenery dev more. I'm still trying to nail down the formula, but I think I've got an idea what the format's going to be. Also, I got something very interesting over the last couple of weeks. If you've ever messed around with anything called a Raspberry Pi, it is a miniature computer. Basically, a Raspberry Pi is all you need to run an operating system. So theoretically, for example, you could install, I don't know, Windows or Linux on a Raspberry Pi, and then you have just to get a keyboard, a mouse, a monitor, and a power supply, of course, and you've got a computer. But that's not what I got. I got something different. I got something considerably smaller. I bought something called the Raspberry Pi Pico. It is a microcontroller. If you do not know what that is, it's essentially a teeny, 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 teeny tiny little computer, which is created to do one specific task really quickly and efficiently. So I got that for a few reasons. Number one, I got it for the sake of being able to potentially automate some of the things that I do with regards to working with Blender or working with the flight sim. And number two, I got it because I'm a bit of a tinkerer. My wife rubs off on me. She messes around with things. She crafts. She creates a lot. So I figured I wanted to get a Raspberry Pi, but they're very hard to get your hands on right now because they're expensive and they're not being sold all over the place like they used to be a couple years ago or even last year. And so at this point, I settled for a Pico, and I'm glad I got one because the Pico will let me do things like, for example, create a miniature stream deck. So if I use the breadboard that's included to be able to press certain buttons and have them do certain things, the idea is those buttons will allow me to make certain tasks, reduce the number of buttons I have to press or the number of keys I have to press, than just clicking a button. So, for example, let's say I'm working with the PMDG 737 and I want to ding the flight attendants to let them know, hey, you can start your service. I can scroll up, use my mouse, and hit that, and I can also bind that. I might be able to bind that to a button on my joystick or throttle. But if I had it on a separate controller, I could hit the button and be done with it. I wouldn't have to look. I wouldn't have to reach for my joystick. I just hit the button and be done. It sounds lazy, but believe me, it's not easy to do in terms of just being able to just put everything together. So you have to figure out what to do. But with that said, we are not at our cruising altitude. So we have hit cruising altitude. Let's see how much distance we have before we have to think about top of drop. It's roughly 160 nautical miles, 150 nautical miles before top of drop, before we get to Barbados. So I would imagine we have something like 40 some odd minutes of cruise. I'm very happy about that. So, uh, in other words, basically, I can do something as simple as creating a button to ding the flight attendants. I can create a button that lets me uh, output my weather data to an LED screen, like a little LED display. I can, in terms of scenery dev, I can potentially create a macro that lets me automate certain things that I do, like creating copies of polygons or saving and exporting my work. I'm trying to approach what I want to do from multiple points of view. One of the biggest things, of course, is essentially learning how to use technology to my advantage and learning to use technology I have instead of being like, oh, I wish I had this, really expensive, shiny thing that lets me do, you know, 6 different things in one shot. Well, if you've got several other shiny things you've forgotten about, which can be made to help you do the same thing, would it not make sense to learn how to use them? Yes, it would. So, this is part of the plan. And I didn't spend that much to get that microcontroller. So, here we go. Okay, we hit cruise altitude. Let's dip outside, see how the plane looks at cruise. It's going to get loud. Stand by. Very nice. So, why am I talking about a Raspberry Pi Pico? Because I want to take on a few projects over the next, I think, few months. Last year, one of the biggest things that happened was that I transitioned from mostly streaming flights to streaming scenery development and releasing scenery. I'm not going to lie, I got to a point, you know, past like October into like November, December, where I started to take a look at all the things that I wanted to do and I got overwhelmed and I'm like, oh man, like, how am I going to do all this? Well, the same way that I did when I got started, one step at a time. I don't know if you guys are the same way I am, but I get to a point where I just want to feel like I'm doing everything. Or not doing everything because I don't want anybody else to do anything. I'm saying, like, I want to do all the things the right way. To do all the things the right way, you have to keep doing the things until you do all the things the right way. And what that means is you usually are going to run into a problem because you're going to do a lot of things the wrong way. So, I'm working myself away from that habit of wanting to be correct on the first tries. It's not going to work, and I don't have the money to hire somebody to do things for me correctly. So, iterating, failing forward, experimenting with technology, these are things that I want to do. You're the same way. Yep, yep. So, we definitely understand each other now a little bit better, I'd like to think. MB944, hello friend. I am doing okay today. Had a day, woke up this morning, went to church, worshiped, and at home, grateful to the Lord for family, for cats, and for hopefully a nice chill evening with maybe some electronics tinkering, which I'm going to do. Oh, wow, forgive me. Um, have I given you my Discord link? Sit tight, folks, sit tight. In case you haven't gotten it yet, let me give you the link to my Discord page. I'm reserved. Like I'm really I don't think the word's correct, but I'm persnickety. Like I am I precocious? No, I'm I'm just highly selective. Highly selective about sharing certain things. But I'm more than happy to give this out in case you folks aren't a member of the Digi Discord, Digi Fam. Please feel free to stop on in. I post my thoughts there. I do post screenshots of my flights and my scenery projects, and I'm probably going to be using that space to talk more about scenery projects and potential changes for the business. I don't know, but I do know I'm going to try to do more stuff soon. Very, very soon. So, there we are. 80 nautical miles to go, probably a little bit over 20, 25 minutes before we hit top of drop, maybe less. I would say at least 15 minimum. So one flight only to Barbados. Once we get down there, we will look for someone wonderful to raid, and I will pass you off to them. But folks, I did want to let you know, hey, no No secret, no lie. I wasn't feeling the best about streaming a little while ago, wondering what I wanted to do. But I can promise you one thing. You do not have to do anything. The only thing I would like people to do is chat me up in the window. And if you lurk, great. You're helping the algorithm to point more people to me by simply being here, pretty sure. So thank you. Um, I was experimenting at the tail end of last year with things like opening up a buymeacoffee.com account and also figuring out ways to fund my business. But I think I've come up with an idea or two at this point. So, depending on how the rest of the year pans out, it's going to be mostly scenery development streams, mostly quiet, but plenty of talking breaks. And we'll see what the rest of the year holds for me messing around with technology and the occasional flight sim flight. So, in terms of tech, I might actually leverage some microcontrollers to be able to create, I don't know, PCBs or little systems that let me do things like automating some of the tasks, not automating, but making some of the tasks that I do very often in airplanes more palatable. Like creating my own little piece of tech that lets me tune a radio frequency easily. Now, okay, is it easy for me to just go ahead and grab a Logitech radio stack and do that? Yes, I can do that, but those things are not cheap. And the technology that's available out there and the the no frills approach is potentially way easier and it's more fun because I think you learn stuff as you go. And if you can learn as you go and you can make your experience your own, I say go for it. But that's just me. Yeah, I thought you were at one point. But thanks for asking for that anyway. But we do have some newcomers. All right. So, folks, give me a bit. Give me a bit. I'm going to give you guys some privileges, and I'm fixing that right now. Wait, how does that work? Why can't I? I guess I have to look at that in a different page. But all the same, I just gave you guys some basic access levels. And now we'll probably take a little bit more time after the stream to be able to fix those. But there we go. Thanks for joining and looking forward to having you in chats and discussions in the future. You'll be in Barbados in a few weeks. Nice. So consider this early recon for you, King Cobra. Also, me spending time with the Raspberry Pi Pico and thinking about the Raspberry Pi got me thinking about old school gaming and the old computer games I grew up playing as a kid, which is it's nice. Don't get me wrong, I like flight simming a lot, but I do also think that we benefit from sometimes shifting gears and changing what we think about. So when I'm not doing this, and I'm going to start treating scenery dev like an actual career, when I'm not doing that in my free time from my second gig, I'll probably be messing around with the Raspberry Pi Pico or playing old games just to kind of keep the creative juices flowing. Now, excuse me for a moment while I prep myself for the arrival. I'm going to take a look at my charts and see where we need to be for Binak. I think we need to be at 3,000 feet because, yeah, there's not a lot of waypoints before we actually get down to the runway. So I'm going to set my altitude for 3,000. And then, once that altitude is set, I'm going to go to my performance page and check my init approach ref values. So, this is econ. Let's go to approach ref. So I'm going to take flaps 30 because there's not that much of a difference between flaps 30 and flaps 40. We'll also be going pretty slow, so I almost won't even need reversers. And for whatever reason, I can't seem to get mine to engage anyway, so I'm not worried about it. But there we go. Our ref plus 5 speed is going to be 134, and that should be okay. At least to me, anyway. After tonight's flight, we're going to go ahead, find somebody to raid. I'll get up, stretch my legs, probably help Mrs. Digi prep dinner, and then we will sit and chill. I might turn the computer back on afterwards, or what I might do instead is grab some popcorn, watch a movie or two with the missus, and mess around with that little tiny thing I was telling you about so that I can figure out how to do things like, turn an LED off and on. And it doesn't sound like much, but who in the world would have thought that I would have actually been doing scenery dev in 2022, much less selling scenery? And that was just from a desire to get back into it. So I'm not going to discount the possibility of doing more things with electronics. So we'll see what happens. All right, we got about 60 nautical miles to go. Once we hit about 30 nautical miles, I will turn on the fasten seatbelt sign and we'll prep for our descent. This has been a nice little flight catching up with y'all. I like it. Thank you. And I've got one of my cats with me. So nice. I will tell you this plainly. I don't know if I'm the only one in the room that feels this way. But as much as I enjoy spending time out or traveling, visiting familiar or new destinations, coming home to a pet and just being able to chill and relax with them or play around with them, that's gold to me. The older I get, the more I begin to appreciate the simpler things, man. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see, because I wanna do things different. You guys hear this very often from me. I don't want to enter into, blah 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 year feeling the same way I felt about year -1. Like, I don't want 2023 to be a kind of like, oh, well, like I said I was going to sell like 15 airports, but I didn't even make one because I was just like, who cares? And in some ways, you kind of have to make people care. If it's something that matters that much to me, then I have to be the one that's going to be setting aside the time and the energy and the effort to do things. And Lord willing, that's exactly what I intend to do. And the way I'm going to do that is by prioritizing my time, setting myself up for success as much as the Lord allows me, and pushing for it. Yeah, man, I do like my pets. Two-Faced, like, like, cats are highly manipulative. Well, okay, I take that back. We feel like they're highly manipulative. They're probably megalomaniacs that just feign manipulativeness. But my cats are amazing. And I don't know. Like I said, I can't speak for everybody else. I can only speak for myself. I'm grateful to own pets and the relationship that I can have with them. And I don't know, like, hey, listen, if I had the money, of course I would build an in-home full, like, immersive cockpit with webcams, and you guys would like, well, maybe not webcams. I'm still persnickety about that, but still, I would build an in-home full simulator setup that emulated an Embraer Phenom 100 or 300. Of course, I would do that. If I had the money, I'd go for it. I'm not knocking that idea down. I'm just saying, in my current situation, there are other priorities that are presenting themselves which need to be taken care of. Whether it's something as simple as, hey, you got to clean the bathroom, clean the toilet, or you got to do the laundry, or you have to cook dinner. Like, this is the stuff through which life is lived. And it's the daily things where you set yourself up for success and the daily things that mean so much to people. If we all had the money, who wouldn't do that? Oh man, I'm telling you. Folks, thank you so much for coming alongside and just chatting with me today. It means so much. All right, folks, we are less than 30 nautical miles away from top of drop and the beginning of our arrival into Barbados today. Mrs. Digi taking care of your needs as the virtual flight attendant for today's flight. And we have First Officer Two-Face Disc on deck, providing some chat interaction as well. So, folks, thank you so much for accompanying me on today's flight. We're going to get prepped for our arrival in. And as far as I can tell, it's probably going to be partly or mostly cloudy in Barbados, but so far, looking good. Oh, yes. Seriously. Seriously. Being in the present. Because if you think about stuff that happened in the past all the time, you're not going to be thinking about the present. And if you're thinking about the future, you're just going to be planning for the future. Take it from somebody that over plans. Oh, excuse me, I take that back. I do not over plan. I barely plan. But take it from somebody that just puts so much emphasis on things and potential possibilities that don't happen. Planning for things or preparing for possible things, that's not a bad idea. But doing it at the cost of not having any kind of meaningful time with people in the present, I get it. Oh man, I didn't know. Hail in in LA? Good gravy. That's a little nuts. Um, I'll take my snow, thank you very much. But Chad, I can't hide this from you. I want to go to Flight Sim Expo this year. I really do. Um, I don't know if I'm going to have the funds to be able to make it. And if I don't go, that's okay. Because I've got a pretty good alternate lined up in case I'm not going to go down to Houston. But with that said, I would like to go down there. I would like to say hi to people. Um, and finally shake hands and what could you say? Rub elbows with some of the folks that I've seen on stream. Complete freedom. I would be honored to meet you as well. Honored. Not even kidding. It would be a privilege to say hi to you. Because that's why I'm going. I'm not going for the tech. Yes, tech is fun. Free swag is cool if they offer it. You know, I mean, I used to go to car shows just to get catalogs and stuff. I have like in one of my closets somewhere like a 2018 or 2019 or whatever Porsche lineup that's like, a book. So it's nice to get swag, and it's nice to look at tech and play around with things. But if I go to FS Expo, it's to meet y'all. It's to meet people. So that's why I want to go. That's why. All right, folks, we are on descent. Let's see where we are right now. Okay, we're not that far away. We're going past. I think we're going past the island of Martinique on our right, and then we're going to be passing Saint Lucia. And this is the part of the show where we actually just have almost nothing but plain sea in front of us until we actually get to the island of Barbados. You're flying a Cessna to the expo. Oh, dude, that is fantastic. If I had the funds, I'd probably be trying to get my private pilot's license right now. A ridiculous and potentially counterproductive goal for me would be to be type rated in a business jet. But number one, that's expensive. Number two, that's expensive. And number three, that's really expensive. So it's one of those things that I would not want to do without sincerely counting the cost. Is it something that I would use? Is it something that I would use enough to justify getting the certification and the tests and the training and the retraining? But I also feel like I did go flying once in an Cessna 172 with an instructor. It was unbelievable. You think a simulator gives you a degree of realism that you can actually expect. Just wait till you get inside one of those planes and you know the instructor hands you the controls. It's just a moment. Patagon, my friend, good to see you. Um, I suppose we could find out, but I don't plan on overrunning any runways today. Oh, I'll be glad to take a look at your YouTube video, friend. Gladly. Ah, man. I mean, I would be thrilled. I would be thrilled too. Um, I don't know how much time I'm going to have at FS Expo. I could just be there for one day because I'm going to be doing a bit of an adventure later on this year. But I guess I have to figure it out. How many days is FX Expo? Is it 2 days? Is it 3 days? Is it like 2 days with like a captain's day where they have like a whole bunch of like seminars and stuff? I don't know how that works. who who doesn't plan on going off the runway? Yeah, folks. This is the captain speaking. We're gonna test the buoyancy of the aircraft today. We're gonna overrun the runway on purpose and wind up in the water. But don't worry. The water's warm today, very warm. They're gonna give out free life jackets and plenty of bottles of water. So you're only gonna get wet for a little bit, and this is just part of the plan for the company's procedures tested. So we should be fine. Yes, yes, that's what I thought. When I was going to go to Vegas before the whole, thing happened, the virus that shall not be named. Before that thing happened, uh Mrs. Digi and I plan on going to Vegas, taking the sights, go to the expo at the Tropicana, and and I was going to go to the captain's event and check all that stuff out, but it didn't pan out clearly, and here we are, about 3 years later. But that's what it is, folks. Really, that's what it is. How far away are we? We're pretty much past Martinique at this point, and we've got, let me think, what, another 15, 25, 30 minutes? Probably 25 minutes at the most before we actually put wheels on the ground again. But we are continuing our descent. An Airbnb, how about that? I didn't think about that. Financials are an issue, but I think depending on exactly where it is and where the hotels are, I may have I may have an idea of what hotel I want to stay at. So, yes, financials are a humongous issue, but I'm still trying to figure out how it's all going to work, and I think it's time for me to start getting serious about determining if I can go. So, we'll figure it out. Now, if I decided to release, an airport like Milwaukee or Philadelphia, and I made about 15 to $20,000, then, you know, financials wouldn't be a problem now, would they? But on the serious side, I am thinking about ways to make scenery development more attainable as a side gig. So I think I'm gonna have some business conversations with one or two friends of mine to figure out what the best way to attack the issue is, and start shifting into a frame of mind, like I said before, where start treating the hobby like a business, and not just devoting time to it, but approaching it from the mindset of, okay, we're going to do this, 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 and this, and we're going to expect these milestones to be hit by this week, and we're going to work on not necessarily marketing, but we're going to work on how we're going to present this to the community. So things like that are things I'm thinking about. Now, when I departed from Princess Juliana, what were the altimeter settings for the airports? QNH was actually 1013 at Grantley Adams International in Barbados. I can always hit the B button once I get past transition altitude and see what it's set to. I'll be curious to see if it changes. But I will set it for 1013 to start. And it will just transition and see if it actually adjusts. I will say MSFS has affected a lot of people in terms of what a simulator can actually display for visuals. The clouds and the atmospherics are wonderful. X-Plane actually turned out to be surprisingly good looking in my book, and I'm happy that I got it. I'm going to be doing some flights in that as well, especially if I want to do more GA. In terms of having built-in, satellite ortho, of course, MSFS wins because it's a part of the streamed experience. So if I'm going to be doing flights in highly recognizable areas, I'm probably going to go to MSFS. But once the ortho software is updated for X-Plane 12, then building ortho for X-Plane 12 again is going to be also enjoyable too. I'd be curious to see how it turns out. How are we looking? Coming up on BNUC now? Wow, that's crazy. We've got about maybe 70 nautical miles before we get down to 3,000 feet. And that's our initial descent. The good news is we're keeping a certain constant airspeed, and we're already set to stay around 250 knots when we cross 10,000 feet. Let's also set our auto brake. I'm going to go with auto brake 3, so we don't need to use reverser in case it doesn't activate, which it probably won't due to my keybinds or my keybind situation. And I'm going to arm my speed brake now. And speed brake's armed. There we go. So auto brake is set. Speed brake is armed. And the green banana is just ahead of BNUC, which means we're going to be slightly over 3,000 feet by the time we get down there. But as long as we're in the same neighborhood, I'm going to be okay. Also, folks, by the way, just in case you do find yourselves in chat or on Twitch or in my Discord, there's somebody else that I'd like to introduce you to as well. I'm going to try to find their channel right now really quickly. Over the course of 2022, I've gotten the opportunity to go check out Fly Lilo. Fly Lilo is a friend of the channel that is a disabled gamer, and Fly Lilo has also introduced me to several other gamers in the disabled gaming community. Fly Lilo flies a simulator, flies MSFS actually, using a very customized setup, and they're looking to increase awareness of disabled gaming as a whole. I would very much like it if you stopped by and gave them a follow. Okay, we're about to cross into local pressure. Bye-bye flight levels. And we'll toggle now. We'll see what the current pressure is. So it's 1015. Not that bad. Not that bad. Just a little bit of a difference. And now it looks like the green banana is ahead, or was ahead, of the waypoint. We should be good. At least I think we should be good. Plans for anyone for this week? I will be returning to work on Monday, and full week ahead. I am kind of curious to see what this work week's going to look like, and I'm also curious to see what I'm going to be doing with some Tinker projects of mine, along with Scenery Dev. Again, like I said, I'm going to be taking the usual habits and tasks that I do and putting them under the microscope mentally to determine whether or not there are things that I normally do on a regular basis that I should be doing, or that I just kind of take some time and say, you know what, I do this regularly and maybe it's time I stopped. So in terms of, you know, like for example, hey, we're human. Let's say we really enjoyed ourselves this Christmas and we were like, hey, like, I had cookies every chance I got. Well, naturally, your body's going to get to a point where the sugar that's being processed is going to get converted into fat. You're going to get bloated. You're going to feel different. Your body's going to want more sugar. You're going to crash. So, you're going to get to a point where you're like, okay, I got to get back in shape. Let's stop eating cookies. Let's start focusing on doing the workouts again and doing all that stuff. So, on a similar basis, I'm going to be taking a look at the things that I do regularly, and I'll try to pay attention to people when they say, hey, listen, like, take a break, or go do this, or look into that. So getting to a better place while getting in shape is a very good idea. It's not the only way you can get in shape. Spiritually, for me, reading God's word, the Bible, and having a personal relationship with God through Christ is very important. It's vital. It's crucial in life. I pray that more people come to know Jesus as Savior this year, because He really is the way to live life and to be prepared for the next one. But at the same time, I'm glad to have you aboard, regardless of where you are or what you choose to believe in. I extend my welcome to you, and I'm glad to have you aboard. And my prayer is that you have a very, very good night tonight and a great week ahead. As we step into January, as we step into 2023, my prayer is that we get the chance to do great things this year. Hey, thanks for the follow, Complete Freedom. Hey, don't, and by the way, don't listen to me. Like, I just worship Jesus. Like, I am such a broken and failed individual who God has so much grace and mercy on. So I'm grateful. I am grateful for His mercy. Hey, Rolly Mile 9, thanks for stopping by today. Really appreciate having you on board. We are about ready to line up with Grantley Adams International Airport. We're landing east-ish, and we have been flying from Princess Juliana. And folks, one of the newest friends of the channel, feel free to give them a follow as well. But thank you so much for stopping by and tuning in. And now that I have like about 12 of you watching, let's see if I can make this a good landing or if it's going to suck. But not every landing is perfect, and I'm not going to have any shame in front of you. If we overrun, we overrun. If this airplane winds up upside down, it winds up upside down. I'm certainly hoping it won't happen, but we'll see. All right. Oof, man. Coming back down through the clouds. This is the part of the flight where if you're flying to your destination vacation, you're like, oh man, I'm almost there. Good times. I like taking vacation and flying somewhere different or getting on a boat. I will say though, sometimes when you get a chance to take a break and all you do is just stick around at home and rest your brain or get a chance to have a nice, slow cooked meal and just ice your brain for a little while, that's great too. A little bit of winds. They are out of the east at about upwards of 17, 16 knots, so we're going to get pushed a bit. It's actually pretty loud in the cabin. Let me go ahead and lower this.
Final approach checklist complete.
Whoa! Complete freedom for 4 months. Thank you for the resub, my friend. Welcome back to the Digi crew. Thank you. Thank you for being here today. And let me adjust my volume. I don't know why it got so loud in here. Let me lower this a little bit. Just a touch. I think that's good. Yeah, I don't know why. Well, I suppose it could have something to do with the engines that are like on either side of the aircraft that are really, really loud, but so be it. Okay, we're below 10,000 feet. Gotta get those lights on. And since we're below 10,000 feet and we're getting close to our destination, I'm gonna put the engine start switches on continuous right now. What else can I do? I don't think there's much I can do right now. I could turn the APU on so I could start it up really easily, but that's like one extra press. However, I'm lazy, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. It's not started up yet though. But yeah, I think some after stream dinner is lined up. And again, I'm going to be messing around with some electronics tonight, and I'm looking forward to seeing what I can create as the Lord gives me the ability to do so. Now, this is something that I don't normally see. I'm flying into like this downpour or this little bit of like rain here. I'm hoping the windshield gets wet. And what's the outside temperature? Oh, it's TAT is 22. Icing, not a factor. Not a factor. Okay, one thing that is a factor, I gotta double check my approach. If we go mist, we have to climb to 3,000 and then go direct to Nopard. And then a Loki is a waypoint just past that, which is a circuit track. Right turns. Max altitude is 10,000 and max airspeed is 230 knots. But what am I talking about here? We're sim pilots. We almost never go around. It's full send, baby. All the time. No, I've done my share of go-arounds, and they are important. Because otherwise you end up with an aircraft that's upside down. And we don't want that. So, we've got just about 57 minutes of flight time right now. It'll be a little bit over an hour by the time we get down to the ground. Not bad. Not bad. Alright, dipping into the rain here. Let's see if the windshield gets wet. Trimmed a bit for approach. Got about 8 nautical miles before we turn to final. We're still way above 3,000 feet, so I'm going to take over and manually intervene with like a 1,400 foot per second drop, and we'll take it down to 180 knots. I was expecting to be at 3,000 feet or just past it, but for some reason we just kept going. We didn't go below 3,000. We just stopped like about 1,000 feet above it. That's no bueno. Actually, at this point, let's aim for 2,000 feet. There we go. Windshield is wet. We've got some rain. Seasonal showers, but TAT is literally 26 degrees Celsius, so icing, not a problem. Turning to final, and we are dropping through 3,000 feet. Once we roll out to our straight approach, I will drop my landing gear and get set for arrival. So I'm probably going to go ahead and set up for our final approach speed so we can start slowing down some more. And with that, we're going to be about 10 miles away from the airport, so I'm going to go ahead and activate my approach mode now. We are below the glide, that's fine. And there we go. Runway is in sight. And we should start slowing down pretty soon. Wow. Ooh, look at the rainbow. That's beautiful. Screenshot. Actually, get rid of that one. We could do better. Yep, we'll keep that one. Okay, we're coming into the approach, and we are slowing down. So, let's get our flaps prepared. Flaps 1 coming out. Speed checks. We're pretty close to the airport, so I'm going to drop landing here now. Get some additional speed reduction in. Flaps 5. And flaps 10. And I'm going to force the airplane to slow down by deploying the speed brakes on purpose. Flaps 10. Bit of a stutter, that's fine. Flaps 15. Flaps 25. And flaps 30. Speed brakes armed again. Not doing too bad, folks. Here we go. Take us in, aircraft. Take us in. Winds are right down the nose at about 20 knots. We should have been configured at least 5 miles out, but we're in now. And we are now configured for go around altitude. I got the controls, my aircraft,
Approaching minimums.
my throttles,
Minimums.
landing. Let's get that nose down. There goes, chat. Ooh, wind shifted. Hello. Ooh, real world aircraft about to take off. Very nice.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Put it down. Put it down, DG. There we go. All right, here we go. Reversers are out. $80 knots, manual braking. 60 knots. Welcome down, everybody. Sloppy landing, but not that bad either. Let's get off the runway so the aircraft can take off. Welcome down to Barbados. After roughly an hour and 4 minutes for flight time, let's go ahead and stop the chronometer and turn the APU on. Taxi lights on. There we go. Do we have any... I don't think we have any jetways. That's okay. Let's have some fun. Let's go ahead and pick a random jetway or find where the AI traffic wants me to go to. And then we will be done for today. It's okay. Here we go. I think there's some folks there that are going to help us. Let's find out if they will. It's a bit removed from the big, nice-looking terminal, but let's go ahead, just take them. Is there anybody there? I don't know. Let's get the APU gens on. Okay, text lights can come off. And there we go. Flight attendants, disarm slides and cross check. Stand by for all call. All right. APU is running. We can turn the position light to steady. Wing lights can come off. And we'll turn the... Oh, wait. Excuse me. I need the APU bleed on. There we go. APU bleed is now on. And we can turn the engines off. Engines 2 and 1. And done. And that's it. Probably about an hour and 34 minutes flight time total. And let's go ahead and request ground power as well. Go down here to our menu. Ground services. Set the wheel chocks. We can get rid of the parking brake. And we can request ground power. And as soon as we get ground power, we can turn off the APU. Ground power is available. Ground power, batteries on the bus. Yada brake can come off. Fuel pumps can come off. APU can turn off. APU bleed is off. Isolation valve is open again. Packs are off. And hydraulic pumps can come off. Probes. And window heats. And there we go. Yard dampers, fuel pumps, lights. Engine start switches are off. Should have been off a little while ago, but sorry about that. And I think that's it. Turn the beacon light off. Logo lights off. Welcome down. Standard scenery out here, but nonetheless, I am glad to be down on the ground. I did forget to raise my flaps. That's okay. We'll just let the next crew fix them. It's all right. Is this back to the way it was? Okay, great. I was actually. I did a little bit of scenery dev for Plymouth Municipal Airport at the beginning of my stream. I'm also going to be working on that during the week, Rolly Mouth, so feel free to tune in. I might even do a late night stream where I just do microphone off scenery dev. But welcome to Barbados. It took a little while to get here, but not that long actually. And I'm glad that I flew down here. I haven't done a Caribbean flight in MSFS in a long time, and I might be doing a few more. Folks, thanks for tuning in today. Really appreciate having you on board. Thank you so much for your time and for saying hello and for your encouragement. I'm going to go ahead and see who we can say hi to. So give me a bit. Give me a bit. Let's take a look at chat. Not chat, excuse me. Take a look at Twitch. So right now, battle channels high to low. Our friend Off Schedule Descent is actually doing some flying, and they're flying the 737-700. So there we go. If you want 737 action, you can go check them out. Let's see. Who else is flying? I don't think anybody else is flying right now. So I guess our decision is pretty clear. I can also go to my friend Dryson as well. Off Schedule Descent. He's a real world pilot. Okay. Let's set for the raid, folks, so stick around. And thank you so much once again, folks, for everybody stopping by today and saying hello, and for the bits and the resubs. Really appreciate it. God bless you, and like I always like to say, if you want true peace, you need the Prince of Peace, and that's Jesus. Take care, friends. Let's go say hi to Off Schedule Descent right now, and we'll see you.